Beauty!
Guys in the Golf.
Good to go, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Too easy.
How about you, Carney?
Yeah, I'm very good, thanks, Mike.
Nice and comfortable there?
Yes, I think so.
Excellent.
Nice to meet you, Carney.
Yeah, same, Ash.
Been waiting for you to come down to King Ash Bay for a visit, mate. But we're up in Darwin now because Mikey and I are flying out today, going down to the Gold Coast for the podcast Royale. So
Oh, yeah.
we're brought our gear up and thought we'd catch up with you and then maybe plan a trip for the near future for you to come down and give us a visit down our way.
Yeah, 100%, Ash. I've already talked to Mike and definitely planning the trip coming down soon in the near future. So I just wait for you guys to let us know when the best time is. So.
Oh, mate, it's always a good time at King Ash Bay.
Yeah,
So, Carney, you've got a YouTube channel similar to Mikey. You do a lot of fishing videos and stuff. I think you've got about over 300 videos or something on your YouTube page now, eh?
Yeah, Ash. Probably closer to 400.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a count at 34 videos so far this year.
Yeah, so
That's wild.
I've been about 3.5 years, or a bit over 3 years. So it's something that I never realised that I was going to do it. So it just sort of started off. Actually, how it started off was I caught a 1.15 metre barra down the South Alligator by myself, and I had trouble taking the photo. So I went into the camera house in Palmerston, and I ended up buying an Osmo Action camera, same as a GoPro, and that's kind of how it started. And I do ride I ride a Harley as well. So I started off doing a bit of footage mainly for away family and my mum down in Queensland. So so I do a Harley vlog, and then I do a fishing vlog, and I noticed that, not that I was worried about subscribers or anything, but after a little while I noticed that the fishing vlogs got a lot more views than the Harley vlog, so I kind of gravitated towards the fishing. So I was thinking at one stage of riding my Harley down to Give River Road in WA, and I ended up going fishing, and the rest is history, you know. So.
So had you done any videoing of stuff before, like anything in your history of like film and TV or anything like that?
Mikey, I think back in about 1990, I had a bit of time off work with a football injury, and I ended up with a video camera, and I drove everyone at home mad, but it was just like bit of home building a fence or something, you know.
Yeah, so that's it. So
that's it, yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah. Because I know that like every teenager's dream is to be a YouTuber these days. And I've got no idea how old you are, but I don't think you're a teenager. So it's something you've decided to do a lot later in life, like that. It's just evolved, like from, as you said, you just.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys this, right? Well, I still claim to be computer illiterate.
Yeah.
And to start off, my daughter, she helped me get a editing program, and I used Mini Tool Movie Maker. And I got a friend from years ago, a school friend, and she's a school teacher. And she came past with her hubby a couple of years ago, and she asked me what was the editing program I used, and I said I used Mini Tool Movie Maker, and she said, "We teach that to the grade twos." Anyway,
no.
but I tell you what, I reckon I could teach the grade twos a thing or two, you know. So I reckon I know. So, but I am thinking about stepping up, you know. So to maybe one I got to learn, you know. So
yeah,
but,
you're doing all right though, I reckon, mate.
But I find that it's I love it, you know. So it's my life now. So. I've got some really good friends, and I've got a family of followers that follow, you know, and I end up with friends' phone numbers. We end up catching up. So
I do see your shirts a fair amount. I live down the rural area here in Darwin.
Yeah.
And I see the shirts getting around. So it's a growing fan base, that's for sure.
So so having the supporters and the people that always says g'day when I go to the boat ramp and on the water, it really helps, you know, like it keeps the motivation going. So, and I find it's pretty simple. So like I'm pretty, I hate seeing myself, like I can kind of tell, it's like Groundhog Day. It's like, so I get to see, then I go, well, I can improve by doing this. Like, so I just guess I learn over a period of time, you know.
I hate going back and watching, say, a video of mine from 4 years ago, say. And I'm like,
yeah, I'm the same.
It's so cringe, yeah.
But you see the progression though in both yours. I mean, I watched a bit of your back catalogue, Andy, and you see from some of your earlier videos to like some of your recent ones, you see the massive progression in like the editing and things like that. And you're using drone and awesome drone shots now, and different camera angles and stuff. And you know, everything's like, you know, it's really nice and polished now. You know, like it's spot on.
Yeah, cheers, Ash. My biggest one has got. It hasn't got 50,000 views, but it's got close, you know. So, and I thought I better have a look at that to see what's going on. It's a crabbing one, and I cringed, you know. I watched it. I felt a bit embarrassed, you know. So
yeah, the crabbing content though, it's wild. That's why we've got the Golf Mud Crabbers brand that I started. Like, everyone loves watching the mud crab videos.
Yeah. So
that Langer got me onto it. Hunting NT. Yeah, he was uploading crabbing videos and getting miles more views than me. I'm like, what the?
Yeah. My biggest video, I can go and sleep in the boat in the build up in the rain and get wet and catch a big barramundis, and I don't get. I can go and catch 2 mud crabs and do a cook up, and I can get way more views.
You did a catch and cook just the other day. You did one. I don't know where you were crabbing, but then you went down to I think the wharf and cooked up, eh?
Yeah. I've because sometimes the fishing isn't that easy, you know. Like, and I find that if I've got more things to diversify, I thought. So I did start. I have started doing cook-ups, and I thought I'll just do cook-ups because I've got the setup with the car now. I thought I can do different cook-ups in different places mainly around Darwin, somewhere that's an easy drive, you know. So and I just see where it goes, and I usually do it when I'm hungry and when I feel like doing it, and I just go and turn the camera on and so the wharf was one of the places. So
it's a nice spot down there too.
Yeah.
Nice bit of a backdrop and stuff, and rather than just being in the garden or something like that, you're actually on the water again, and
and it's special to me too because I worked for Perkins Shipping for 11 years, and they're just down around they used to be just down around to the left. They're Sea Swift now, and then I've worked over on the main wharf. East Arm Wharf for 11 years as well, you know. So that's been my my work view for such a long time, you know. So
What do you do at the wharf?
Wharfie, Yeah,
okay.
They call us a stevedore. Stevedore. So just rigger, forklift.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Unloading ships and...
unloading ships, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so unloading ships. So for 20-odd years is loading ships. So even in my little boat, lists drive me mad. So you have trouble loading a vessel if the list is the wrong way. So even when my mate Oakes that comes with me, it drives me mad if the boat's on a little bit of a list. I'm always pushing Esky over here or something like that to get it at level, you know.
My little boat, Flanders, is a side console, and look at the size of me. It is an absolute nightmare to get that thing level. It's not possible.
Yeah.
And then Ash always gets up me in his crab boat. Oh, Mikey, move this way, move that way. Like,
yeah. I'm the same.
I'm a big ball.
I'm the same. I hate it.
About it.
I'm a big ball of ballast. Like,
No, I'm the same, Andy. When the boat's leaning over and you're trying to travel, it's just it just does my head in too, mate. Especially if it's a bit rough or a little bit choppy, because then you get you get wet as well, you know.
Well, for 20-odd years, right, when we drive back from the smoko room, I drive out on the wharf, and when I have the boys in the van, and if I'm team leader, and I'll be driving down the wharf, and I look, and you can see really from behind, you can see what that list is like. You know, you can see if you got a list, and then because a lot of times there's ship's cranes, so you ask the crew to ballast the vessel one way or the other, you know. So or the ship's cranes, they might hang them out. We were not using the ship's cranes; we're using the wharf crane. But the ship's cranes will be hanging out over the wharf, and it'll cause the vessel to list to the port side, you know. So you ask them, sometimes it's a bit of a hassle, but you ask them to slew the cranes around to level the vessel up, you know. So
make it a bit easier.
So if I'm trolling, and I'm always got like looking for something to do, I'll be move this a little bit here. I even move my seat a little bit just to get it perfect, you know. So.
You should have a little spirit level lined up on your console there.
Yeah, nearly. So that's just one of my OCDs.
So you camp on the boat a lot too, eh?
Yeah, Ash. Yeah. I guess I've been camping because I come off a cattle property in Western Queensland, And I can't remember, maybe 10-year-old, we used to go not very far from the house. You could see where we'd go, and we'd go and camp, you know. We'd take all of our sleeping bags over and we'd camp. So I've been camping for a long time, and so it's just something that helps me do things. It's a monetary thing as well. So like I can go out, I can camp, and I don't have the fuel of running backwards and forwards.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like, it's my secret too for catching barramundis is to go on a certain tide, spend 3 days there, and in those 3 day period you're going to catch sparrows, you know. So
Yeah, yep.
yeah. So
So things like you just did a recent trip down the Daly, and you were going down the river like pretty much in the dawn or just before first light sort of thing. I think you left maybe, and you're down there when you actually started fishing. It was still sort of dark almost.
Yeah, you followed someone down, I think.
yeah. I followed Wally down from Mackay. He's a supporter that came up to us at the boat ramp, and that morning was the first morning I met him. And then I've bumped into him quite a few times since. And this is how you get friends. Is the other day he actually bought a new motor for his boat at In-N-Out, but I was dropping the Red Rocket off to get a service, and Wally was there, so we exchanged phone numbers. So I'm pretty sure in the future we'll just do little texts, or we'll give each other a call every now and again, you know. So
Yeah, awesome.
And also while I was down there too, I stayed at Matt and Jess's bush camp for the first time, and I ran into a fellow called Stuart, and he's retired, but he's an ex-Daly River Barramundi guide. So we're actually planning the trip. He's going to fly up in July sometime, and I'm going to pick him up from the airport, and we're going to do a live cherubim baiting, and we're going to do cherubim catch and cook. So that's in the planning as well with Stewie,
cool.
Legendary fellow, and I have his phone number, and we keep in touch as well. You know.
Yeah, awesome.
So,
You mentioned that bush camp, so that's formerly Lee and Jenny's bush camp.
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So I've stayed there a couple of times in years gone by, and so with Lee and Jenny, the old owners, who are awesome. So there's new owners there now.
Yeah, Matt and Jess.
Yep.
They've had it for about a year, and Jess's dad Andrew, and Matt and Jess's young fella Devon. So they're actually going to. I think this is pretty right, but they're actually changing in the process of changing the name.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're going to just call it the Daly River Bush Camp.
Yeah,
so,
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, lovely, a great spot. I just went down recently, my first trip down there. I ended up being down there for 9 nights. So it allowed me, because there's phone service, 3K from the boat ramp, I could have a day off, a couple of days off, do a bit of editing, and just chill out, you know. So it's really good. I look forward to getting back down there in the future. So
Yeah, cool.
And what's the sort of accommodation they have there? So you can go take a tent down there and camp, or they got dongas, or
yeah, they got everything, Ash. They got like motel type, they got like cabins,
Yep.
dongas, powered sites, unpowered sites. There's swim pool, there's camp kitchen, there's washing machines, and I actually see in the washing machines that, and Matt didn't say this, but it's by donation. So most of them, because I thought, I don't carry coins, you know.
yeah.
But it's actually by donation. So, like, how good's that, you know?
Yeah,
like,
perfect.
And I noticed that in the camp kitchen, there's actually tea and coffee and everything.
Yeah, cool.
So, yeah.
I see they've got they cater, I reckon, from like I went there with my family the first time, and we stayed in, like, I can't remember for the life of me what it was called, but it was a really fancy sort of like a higher end accommodation, and then they've got like the bunkhouse,
Yeah.
which is like there's not even en suites in it. It's just a room with an aircon with a bed or 2 beds, and then the toilets are outside. So it's like it caters from someone who just needs a bed all the way through to someone who wants to have couches and TVs and a full kitchen and stuff like that. So it's really it's quite a picturesque place as well. It's a beautiful place.
And you can go just wander across the road, throw your cherubim pots in, and it's really good. Matt and Jess, Andrew, they're legendary people. They're like a really nice people, you know. So,
Yeah.
And like they've said to me, you know, like, but I said I'd never turn up without letting you know. But they said any time you come down, just rock in, you know, just get yourself a campsite, and we'll see you next day.
Yeah, cool.
I said, yeah, no worries, because they've got basically unlimited unpowered sites. So I think they've got 150 acres there, so you can park. You know, there's actually spots on it that you could park, and then I could actually make out I was in the bush. You know?
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, and they're located right near that Bamboo Creek as well, aren't they? You could literally walk there to do
I
land-based
walked up
barra
there
fishing.
a couple of times, so, yeah. Yeah.
So what was the river fishing? I mean, I know you've already published a video of it, so people can go and watch that and see your trip. But tell us what the fishing was like.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. First time I've ever been there. I don't know why I shied away from it, but now that I've been there, I'll definitely be going back all the time. Yeah, caught a ton of barramundis and it fishes. I've learnt that it fishes different. You go back to the spot the way you were yesterday, and it's completely different, you know. So, and I'm still learning it. Like it'll take me years. So different tides and different things, you know.
Yep.
So
I see you're fishing those colour changes on the little creeks.
Yeah. Well, they're nearly all gone now. So so yeah. Then when I was just there the other day, just fishing as the tide comes up, different spots. Doing a bit of trolling, so it's good, you know. So yeah. So
that's your first trip down the daily ever, is it?
Yeah, that's the first trip there, Ash. And I've also where I've just been to, and that the vlog would have already been out if this comes out next Friday. I'm going to have a vlog from I'm doing a series from the Vic River.
Yeah.
So so when this comes out, probably be the first day. Will be the first down the Vic River. We go down to Big Horse, go down the Vic River, and I spend a couple of nights in the boat. Do some cook-ups. I go all the way down to Baines River.
Yep.
So yeah, and then all I can say is I got some drone footage down there. Is absolutely off tap with the mountains and the escarpments.
Yeah, nice
and
country
the redness,
down there.
Yeah, and then like the sun sets over the escarpments, but in the morning when the sun comes up, that's when I get the drone footage, and it's just beautiful red, you know. So, yeah. So beautiful spot. It's probably somewhere where I'll go back each year, you know. So. Yeah, nice country. Actually, Mike and I talked about getting down there at some stage.
Yeah.
Maybe later in the year or something, or see what happens. I think the Big Horse Classic is on next weekend, I think, down there. So May Day long weekend. So Casper Game Fishing Club have their big comp down there.
Yeah, and it's bitumen all the way, and it's close to Timber Creek. And Timber Creek's a great little spot, you know, if you need fuel, or you can camp in Timber Creek. And
I see you got the Yeti there, the Timber Creek Hotel Yeti.
Yeah, well, there's a story in that, and that comes out in the vlog. So,
okay.
So don't ask where my other one went, but so I haven't had time to slip in and grab a Yeti from somewhere around town. So I need the travel mug. So that's what a little bit about the vlog, which would have already came out earlier on today. So. So I'm in search of a Yeti as well on my way over. So the Vic River Roadhouse didn't have one, so I go in there and have a chat to the nice lady in there, and she actually pointed out where the flood levels have been. So the last flood level just went through about a foot through the bottom. You can see the height on the chairs because it's stained the bottom of the stools in the bar there, you know. So, and the 1991 one is up on it's just a little bit above the top of the bar, you know. So I love going through there. So yeah, it's beautiful. Like, yeah.
Nice escarpment country in there, because I grew up out at Port Keats, so the other side of Daly River out there, and then we went down when I was a kid down to like the Fitzmaurice a couple of times.
Yeah.
And that escarpment country through there, like you say, that rocky country is just something completely different.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the territory though, Andy. That you can go to all these different places. So you can go like down the Vic, and you can look at that sort of stuff, or then you could go to somewhere like Corroboree, and it's completely different again. You know, nice big floodplain country, and or you go to like Shady Camp or something like that, and completely different again.
Yeah.
So or come to King Ash Bay, and then you've got like the islands out there, which is it may as well be the Whitsunday. So
the Whitsundays of the Northern Territory. That's what we call it.
Well, when I come through to see you guys, I actually want to go to the Roper. I want to go down the Nathan River Road, and I want to pull into the Limon.
Yep.
And what I'll probably do at the Limon, I don't know how I'm going to do the Roper, but I'll probably either go to Port Roper, because I've probably got to call in and see Luke, the crabber, or I'll put in at Tomato Island, and maybe I'll go down by boat, and camp in my boat.
Yep.
And then I'll go to the Limon, and I'll do the same there. I might camp in my boat there, and I'll get round to the Spillin, go around the front.
Yep.
And I'll do a couple of days there, and then I'll come on and see you guys.
Yep.
And then I think from you guys, but I don't know now since the cyclone is I think is it Moongara? Moongara? Manangora, yeah. So I want to get right round to there, Yep. So like I got heaps of time, so I'm gonna just go steady, and I'll just see how it turns out anyway. So.
Yeah, because you got Manangora, so you got from King Ash Bay to the east of us, you've got Manangora, which is on the Wearian River.
Yep.
And then you've got like Seven Emus as well, which is on the Robinson River.
Yeah.
So another place you can go and camp out there.
A little bit further across to the east. Yeah.
Yeah, so right today, if you ask me where I was going to go, where my next trip could be, is I've got Shady Camp. I haven't been there for a bit, so I know the big fish. I talked to Jared Real Screaming, the Barramundi guide, so he's telling me the big fish have moved up the top. So one thing is telling me to go there, but then I could jump in the car and I could go to the Roper, you know. So so I don't know. I'll toss the coin.
We've got so many options, and you fished them all now. Like, but say, or from the west, you got the Vic, the Daily, the across to the Adelaide Shady Camp. I don't mean. All the way across. Have you fished the alligator, South Alligator, on that?
Yeah. I fished the south, the east. Yeah. Yellow waters. You got so much. You got 4 miles. So there's massive amount of places. You know. So there's no, like, for me being a fisherman now with Barramundi as my main thing. There's no, with mud crabbing. There's no excuse for me not to have a vlog up. 2 vlogs up a week.
Come on, Mikey, get into gear, mate.
You're making me look bad.
Have you got a favourite spot then? So you've been to all these places. Have you got a spot that you prefer to go to?
Well, it probably has been the South Alligator.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I don't really have a favourite spot. I think the Daly might become a favourite spot.
Yep.
Being able to go down to the bush camp, have phone service, which like a lot of times, like I can go out for. Because when I went down there, I thought it'll be a challenge for me to get past 4 or 5 days, you know. So I was actually down there for 9 nights. So, and I think having phone service with what we do, keeping in contact, I've got to have it. Sort of alleviates a lot of tension. And it lets me relax.
Yeah.
Because I know I can get on and do a bit of phone stuff and not be worrying about. Because sometimes I go out for 4 days, I only have the Zolio, and I ask Sue, you know, what's going on, and I guess it creates a bit of hypertension that, I've got to check me banking or something. You know, there's some things I got to do, but I know when I get down there, I can make phone calls. And,
Makes it easy.
I can talk to me mum. You know.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Give us the rundown. For everyone
the Zolio is it's a little device. They're about $350, and then you pay a one-off instalment fee of about $40, and then I pay a monthly subscription of $55, and I get 250 texts. Yeah. So their satellite, it just connects to the satellite. So if I text you, and then you text me back, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just that's 2 texts. Yeah. So and I think I can do around about, I don't know. It's about 250 texts, like letters in a text. Yeah. So if I got to tell you, if you text me one emoji, that's 1 text. Yeah. If I got to tell you, I'm going down the mouth, I got to really abbreviate it. Yeah. So you'll get a pretty wonky text from me, because then I got to cut full stops out. I got to cut gaps out. So you might think he's a bit mad, this bloke. That's the text. And
so you can be completely off grid down the mouth of Shady or something. Yeah. And then I think even earlier in the year, like you had Darren from Masturbate. He was messaging you, giving you storm updates and things like that. You're asleep on the boat, and he's like, "Oh, storm incoming, 25 minutes," sort of thing. Yeah, Pete Davis does the same. Yeah. Big Daz awesome. They're awesome. They keep an eye out for us. Big Daz will say that he got storm coming in about 30 minutes. A funny thing happened. I put a vlog up where I was having a bit of fuel problems. It was up, I think it was on Shady Camp with the motor, and I had to keep priming up the fuel. And it's funny how things happen, but probably about 8 years prior, I was using a Precision Marine, and I got their mechanic, Callum. I didn't know I had his phone number, and then when I got into phone range, I had this text, and it was from Callum. And he said, "I watched your vlog." He said, "It's your fuel cooler." So I said, "Oh, yeah, cool." So I actually rang him and talked to him. He said, "I can come around and show you how to unblock it," but the boat was due for service, so they fixed it. So when I went out another time, I didn't know how to fix this fuel, and it started happening again. So I was actually remote, and I thought, I'll give this a crack. So I was going to be there for 3 days, and I got there and it started his fuel problem again. So when it first happened, I was trolling, and I had to keep pumping the fuel up, and then it just flooded. So I actually
text Callum on my Zolio and said, mate, can you? I'm up wherever. I'm up the top of Tommy Cut and I got that same fuel problem. Can you explain to me how to fix it? So he explained to me that on the port side of the motor, you got to take the thing off the top and the cover off the motor, and there's a little U-hose there, and you'll see it's clogged, and then perfect, So So I just said to him, mate, I owe you big time, So that's
and you're able to do that all totally off grid.
Off grid,
out in the
just
middle of
with the
nowhere
Zolio,
with text messages.
So I feel when I'm remote, I feel a lot more confident when I've got the Zolio. I can text anyone anytime and let people know where I am,
So you're pretty comfortable camping in your boat by yourself? Like, I mean, I've seen some videos there in the middle of the wet season, pissing down rain, and you've got a tarp pulled over your head and stuff like that.
It's a
So
small
you're pretty
boat.
keen.
It's a small boat too. What, 4.5 metres?
4.4, yeah.
4.4.
Yeah, 4.4, yeah. So I've had that boat I call it the Red Rocket, so everyone knows it now as the Red Rocket. So I've had it for 10 years. I've just got a new motor on it, so that's the third motor on it.
Yep.
So in and outboard, awesome. So Yamaha, so camping in the boat is just comes second nature, and I could probably say about the build up is it's probably not as bad. The heat is not as bad as with a fan. It's what you would think, It's obviously a lot hotter during the day, and I think so. It just enables me to do my thing better.
Yep.
Like then I can get a beautiful sunset. Like I might only caught 2 barramundis for the day. It might have been really tough. But then I know that I'm going to get a beautiful sunset, and I can sort of like turn the vlog into a catch and cook and sleep in the boat, Yeah, but it's all about easy. I try to do things on a budget, so it might be an hour and a half back to the boat ramp. Well, for me, it's easier just to stay there.
Yeah. It costs you nothing just to sleep there,
Just
right where you are.
costs nothing to sleep there.
Yeah.
So and I've got a deck wash where I have a shower, and I've set myself up. So. And I've got the Zolio. I kick my feet back and I can Zolio text.
Yeah.
The only one that won't answer my text is my mum, because it's a strange text that she won't answer. But if I want to get a message to mum, I text either my young fella or I text Sue and I say, "Can you pass this on to mum, please?" Yep. But she still won't. I tell her she still won't answer it.
So when you come down to King Ash Bay, so we're flying out today. Obviously, we're down to the Gold Coast. Mikey will be back at King Ash Bay towards the end of next week, hopefully.
Yeah, yep.
I'm driving back with a new Toyota, a new boat.
Oh.
So I'll be back by probably next weekend as well. When you come down there, we'll have to plan a trip. Maybe we'll go and do an overnight, or we'll take a couple of boats and swags or something. We'll go to an overnighter out one of the islands or something like that.
Yeah, it'd be good to test run the new
good,
test run the new polycraft. It's maiden voyage. Although probably just one person sleeps on that one, mate. Don't know if 2 big buffaloes will fit in there. Flanders can get out there. I'll sleep in Flanders.
Might convince Norman to put his boat in too.
Yeah.
No, it'd be awesome to come down and hang out with you fellas, and it'd be awesome.
We can show you around. Completely different country again. As Afa mentioned, the territory is such a great place like that. You can go from place to place, and there's such a difference in scenery. So like we're driving into Barramundi, it's more savanna sort of country. Yeah. It's more open sort of country, flat country, no sort of big hills or mountains or anything like that anywhere near us. Yeah. And then you get down the river, and it's very different to the Daly or any other, or the Adelaide or any of those places. It's extremely different. There's no floodplain country there at all, so we don't really get a runoff per se. Yeah. But then you get out the mouth and out around the islands, and there's nice big rocky outcrops and heaps of shallow reef and stuff, and you can chase. From red emperor to golden snapper, cold trout. There's just about everything that you can imagine there. And then just off the islands, you've got billfish and marlin, sailfish and things like that. So it's it's a great spot, and you don't need a big boat to be there. Bigger than 4 meters is handy. So you can cruise out to the mouth and back fairly easy. But on a decent day, on a 4.5 meter boat, you can easily get around all the islands and go out wide and do whatever.
Yeah. Also, too, with the Red Rocket, I've put extra fuel tanks in. So under the floor, I think I carry about 130 litres, So,
wow.
And I carry about 50 litres of water as well. So
yeah. So you can go out for a few days at a time, no worries.
Quite often, too, like when I was on the Vic River, and then I take 20-litre jerry cans as well, So.
Do you run a fridge on the boat?
Run a fridge, yeah. I've got a little 25-litre one that plugs into. I've got a lithium battery up the front.
Yep.
That I run the electric motor on.
Yep.
So, and it runs it runs that. Yeah, it's good.
And what do you do to charge? Have you got like DC to DC charger?
I've got a digital VSR on the main battery.
Yep.
And I've got an auxiliary battery and a start battery.
Yeah. So digital VSR, for people that don't know, is like a voltage sensitive relay. So your start battery will never go below like 12.5 volts or something like that.
Yeah.
But when you're running and your start battery is fully charged, it'll automatically switch over so it starts charging your secondary battery.
Yeah, it doesn't keep it 100% charged, but it charges it. Like it charges a little bit. I think the Yamaha's charge they charge the least about 16 amps, I think. So, but if I run the sounders, there's enough left to put some charge in it. So
I suppose if you're trolling up and down for a few hours, then that'll put some good quality charge on for that night.
Yeah, and if you run back to a boat ramp or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's enough. So like when I did the Vic River trip, I didn't actually take any ice.
Yeah. Okay.
So I did bring fish home from the Vic River, a couple, but I did catch and cook. So I'd just bleed them and fillet them, and I'd put them in my fridge. You know.
Yep. Yeah. Do it all straight away.
I noticed in the last video you published, when you bleed them, you brain spike them.
Brain spike them,
just to put them out of their misery, and then I think the gills, you give a little snip on the gills.
Snip on the gills,
and that bleeds them real good.
Yeah, I got a nice little stainless steel pair of cutters, and the brain spike, and I believe that they taste better because they don't have the adrenaline when they go, you know, and then just one snip on the gills and they're bled, So. And I only keep, like I fish all the time, so like I keep one or two fish here and there, you know. So like I know that I went through had a look in the deep freeze this morning, and I don't have to keep a fish for the next few trips, you know. So,
Yeah, some people are all about filling up the freezers, but if you're going fishing a lot, you don't need to fill the freezer. You just take a fish here and there.
Yeah, and if I get like the latest video that was up. Like I got 80s, but I threw them back, you know. Yeah. So I just waited until I get a 65 around that area, and I'll keep that one, you know. So.
What's your favourite fish to eat?
I know this. I probably don't have a favourite. I know the shreddies and the snappers are bloody beautiful, and I can tell you this. A lot of barras taste different from a lot of. Like I can tell you those lemon barras taste as good as a snapper.
Yeah.
And then the Vic River ones taste different again because they're really silver and they're really clean, but there's a lot of, I can't work it out, I don't really know it, but there's a lot of fresh water. It's like 60k down at the Bains is fresh water. Yeah. So you're catching these beautiful silver fish, but they're catching them in fresh water, so I don't understand, you know. So, but they taste a different flavour than, say, a Shady Camp barra or a South Alligator barra, you know. So
for sure, and you'll notice that at King Ash Bay too. If you're catching barras out on the coast or out around the islands, catching barras out there, they're nice and silver, big yellow tails. You know, they're heaps better quality than ones you've caught like right upstream in Borroloola or, you know, right up the, you know, Batten or something like that, you know.
Well, I can tell you the ones on the Darley River, they must eat cherubin. Because and there's always the current's always there, the tide's always seems to be going out, so they got shoulders on them that are that thick, and you get a 70 and you swear you got an 85. You get an 85, you think you got a metre. Geez, they go hard, you know. So
and they look like they're solid fish, aren't they?
Yeah, solid fish. Yeah, solid as, you know. And then usually this time of year too, like especially the ones on the South Alligator, they're big solid fish, you know. So. I got a metre. I got it last year. My PB was a metre 22. I got up on the south, and half an hour before I got a metre 13. Now I thought metre 13 is a pretty good fish. Yeah. And when I could hold it up, no worries at all. And then half an hour later, I got that metre 22. It was off. It was off the Richter scale. Yeah. The size, I couldn't even hardly pick it up. You know.
Far out, big fish.
Metre 22. Wow. Because that's what's that, you know, 20-something kilos.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, massive. But at that time of year, they're that fat. You know, they're that thick. You know, so. Yeah,
they've been gorging themselves on the flats or whatever, all the mullet breeding up there and that. Yeah.
And they grow quickly in size. Like the difference between like say a 95 and a 105 is massive though as well, because they once they get over that meter mark, a lot of them will get real big real quick, like real fat, real heavy, real quick. They get real big belly on them and bloody, big shoulders.
Yeah, the difference between a meter and 2 and a meter and 5 is just big jump up.
Yeah, they get deeper as they go. Yeah.
So you mentioned before about spots. People, fishermen with their spots. So it's really like I've obviously got to put more spots up. It gets it's funny sometimes, because sometimes I'll actually be in a spot and the fish will go off and I'll get fish. And say there's a Barramundi guy there, and I remember last year in particular, I caught a heap of fish, and it wasn't really well known at a certain time of year. So the Barramundi guy I know really well, he said to me, "Don't put this up for a few weeks." So you got to kind of sit on it, So then I make phone calls to my mate Oaks. I says, "Come here, we're going back and we're going to hit this spot." I said, because we're not going to put nothing up for a few weeks, and then we put it up, And just recently I did a topwater one, and the fishing was really tough at the time. It was actually when the cyclone went down to King Ash.
Yeah.
So it was when it was real windy.
Yeah.
And it was I think it was like the first day or the second day of the wind. We had a heap of rain, the water was high, and then I actually went out to do a crabbing vlog, and it ended up being a topwater vlog.
Yeah.
So, and I think I got 10 barras on the fizzes and dropped heaps, and it was just off-tap footage,
And this is the one down the daily as well?
No, this is before that.
Oh, that's before it.
Yeah, so I actually went out.
You were getting them on the fizzes in the daily. I was watching that last night.
Yeah, I got them on the figures. But if you go back and have a look, I did a topwater one, and I actually went out to do. And I put at the start, I forded fast through real quick. So I thought I'll go out. I kind of needed to do a vlog. Windy as all hell, and so I thought I'll go and get some mud crabs. I'm going to camp in my boat. Like surely I can get 3 or 4 mud crabs. I'll do a cook up.
Yeah.
So that was my plan. So I went out and threw the crab pots in. Then I thought, I don't want to check them for at least 4 or 5 hours. So I thought it was on a building heap tide. So I thought I'll just cruise off and see if I can catch a barramundi. So I went about my business, and I come across just the most insane barramundi topwater action that I didn't expect to get, So So it didn't end up being a crabbing video. It ended up being a topwater video.
So did you see him buffing, or how'd you find him?
Well, I was working I thought I only need to catch. I thought if I can get 2 or 3 mud crabs, and if I can catch a couple of barras, that's a pretty good vlog, So I went into the mouth of the Adelaide River, and I went up one of the wheelchairs, and I trolled up the mouth, and there was no barras on the side scan. So then I started flicking up the drains up on the way up, and the further I went up, I still hadn't got a fish, hadn't even got a hit. So I thought, and the wind was getting worse, so I knew I was going to get belted going back to the crabs. So I was a bit keen to get out of there. Anyway, I come up the top, and there was a little bit of a fork there, so I just dropped the vibe in, and it got belted. And then all of a sudden, the mullet started coming through, and it was just boffin was off tap.
Oh.
So then I just tied up on the side.
It was just right place, right time.
Yeah. And then I threw a fizzer out, and it was game on. And I don't know, 3 or 4 hours later, I was done, and I don't want to catch any more fish. And I still had to get back through the wind and the roughness, and then I only ended up with 1 mud crab anyway. So I didn't even worry about the mud crabs. So that was. Sometimes you just jag it,
Yeah. And it's good fun using like surface lures like that too, when you actually see the fish come and hit it, and can hear them come and hit it. And so for people that don't know, you're using a fizzer, which is like basically a lure that floats and has like 2 little propellers on it that spin and flick a bit of water up.
Yeah.
And they make a fizzing sound when you drag them through the water. They make a bit of a fizzing sound.
Yeah.
So,
and sometimes you do it at night time, and you'll be, and then you'll get it near the boat, and you'll start to forget about it, and you'll just start to wind it, and poof, and I pull it out the water because you get such a fright, Gets you every time.
Oh yeah, especially with the big barra there, right? When they buff right next to the boat. Yeah, you think the big gator's about to jump in.
I'm developing a really good friendship with Snager Barra over in Wyndham. He's got the YouTube. He's just got to the 1,000 subscribers, and he actually caught 1.6 metre, I think it was, on one of Raptor Lures fizzes.
Yeah.
Anyway, he got it all. He's got the footage all on. He's got all the footage, and he actually about a minute into the fight, he lost his rod, come out of his hands. So for 2 minutes he was bloody committing, like thinking about bloody, this is the worst time. And then he was just sitting back, and he reckons down the creek in the snags that barra come up out the water.
Yeah.
So he got his other rod, put a deep diver on it, flicked across the river, wound it in, got the braid, pulled his rod up, and then fought and got the fish in and measured it. So that bloke, I've told him too, I said, you're blessed, you know.
That's
He's
unreal.
blessed, that fella. So, yeah, so snag a barra. And that's where I'm going to go. We keep in contact too, so I'll be doing a trip sooner or later across the Wyndham and hang out with Snag a Barra for a couple of days.
Yeah. So that was on one of the Raptor Lures.
Yeah.
So a little segue. I want to talk about live scope for a second, but just with Raptor Lures, your mate from Raptor Lures, what does he call live scope?
Oh, dope scope.
Dope scope. Yeah. So we can work out what his opinion of it is. You don't use live scope, do you?
No.
No. What's your thoughts on it? Like, is it something you'd like to have, or?
I've gone in an outboard marine and priced it up a couple of times. I've thought about it. If you have a look at the Red Rocket, I've already got a lot of stuff, so I don't really know if I need more stuff.
Yeah.
I've got wires and fridges, and it's just I catch fish anyway, so and like a vlog, and a lot of my fishing is around vlogging. So like 4 or 5, if you get any more than 4 or 5 fish, it just gets boring. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. I've changed my mind so many times on it, but if I actually picture myself using it, like I'm trying to make a video, so I've got a camera on my chest, then I've got around my neck, I've got the remote for the Minn Kota. Then if I'm trying to operate something else as well, plus drive the boat, well, it's just too many things going on, I think. So I'm off it at the moment.
I'm just going to stick, because it makes me, I got to explore. So so I've been in situations where blokes with live scope have had trouble catching fish, and then they troll and get them. But I know, like, I wouldn't go in a competition because I don't have it. Like, I went in a competition last year, and you feel like you're just so disadvantaged, you know. So I don't know. So I'll work that one out one day.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I did have a subscriber come up to me the other day, and he said, "Carney, you ever get live scope? I'm not watching you." But if I did get it, I've thought about it. I'm not going to take the sounders out the console. I just put it on the side. There is a few instances where I thought if I did have it, I could put it down now. I could see if there was fish there. I'd just put it back up, and then I'd do my thing, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know, down the track.
Yeah. I suppose at some stage it's inevitable. Like, as technology improves, probably an upcoming standard with that sort of thing. In enough time.
The question what I ask is because I know that when the side scan came out, that was a pretty big evolution, like, for seeing fish, and then the live scope came out, which is that much more. What comes after the live scope?
Yeah, it'll be live TV. It looks to be
Well, I see guys in the States now using VR goggles with their live scope. So they actually got goggles on, and it's actually like a heads-up display of the fish on there.
That's crazy,
So, and these guys are fishing in like bass tournaments, which are worth millions of dollars. You know, like they're big into it. But yeah, they're literally wearing goggles, watching their live scope while they're fishing.
Like, I don't really have an opinion, but I know this for me, when I'm on the river and if I'm trolling, because I do a lot of trolling, and there's live scopers there, I watch them, and then if they got their pole pulled back, I know the fish are up high.
Yeah.
I know that if they're situated there. You know when you go fishing for mackerel and you have a look for the birds?
Yeah.
I think live scopers are for me like birds, you know, like I see where they are, you know, like.
That's really good thinking.
They might be 3 bends up on a creek, and I might be there for 3 days, right? So for 2 days, I notice that the live scopers are in that. Then it might come Monday, and I'll still be there. So I know that I'll go and explore where I see them, you know, because I know that must be where the fish is, you know. So I don't know.
live scope poaching. Like, yeah.
So yeah, if you see them with the pole back, you know the fish are high. So which I'll just briefly touch on too. So when I troll certain tides. So I troll 3. I'm actually thinking about, I think I've progressed. A lot of people ask me, how do you troll 3 with one person, you know? So I think I've been trolling 3 for long enough, and it's actually in my head now I might start trolling 4, you know? So I just find that, like, if someone's on the water and they're trolling with 4 rods, they'll catch 15 fish. With 3 rods, I'll catch 10. And if someone's trolling 1 rod, they'll catch 3 or 4, you know? It's just a number, that's how it kind of works. But I do notice that some days I'll catch all the fish on the middle rod, which is only back 25 metres.
Yep.
And the lure is sitting high up in the water in the bubbles. So some days I've gone out and every fish gets caught on. It's different each time, but so I know a lot of times the fish sit really high. I know the live scopers have told me that the fish sit right. You won't even see them on your sounder. They sit right up under the top, you know. So
you run
and in the middle of the river too.
Yeah. So you run a couple of different types, like a deep diver and a shallow diver and stuff when you're trolling.
I usually put a 7-inch lure, about a 6+ out the back.
Yeah.
And usually just the 6+ out the side. So that's a lot. That's how I catch a lot of bigger fish. Is just go there on the tides. I work the different sections of the river, the mouth, the bends, the pressure points, the deep holes, and I just spend 11 hours. I don't pull the rods out. I set them up so that the middle one out the back is 25 metres. Yeah. And I just turn, and they stay in the water all day. Yeah. So and even when I was down the Darley at a creek mouth, a little creek mouth, 60k down, flicking, and then some live scopers there as well. So when they moved away, and I was flicking as well, so then I put the rod away, and then I put the 3 out, and I'll just troll in and out and around, and I couldn't, and flicking was very quiet, but to troll in and out with 3, I ended up picking up a couple of 80s and something else, you know. It just gives me I get a numbers game, you know. Yeah. It always seems to be that bigger fish generally caught trolling or live baiting. Yeah. You know, like flicking and catching big barras seems to be exceptionally difficult to do. So unless you're fishing like on a rock bar or a causeway, a crossing, something like that, culverts, something like that. But just flicking snags, for example, is and catching big fish. It seems to be very very few and far between. I think the live scopers can target the big fish. They can see them. Yeah, they can see them actually target. And then they can just follow them around. But
I saw in the Barra Nationals last week. There was I think that's Shane Campaign from Tackle World on day 1, or I don't know what day it was, but he got 3 metre barra in one day.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah, the guy's a freak.
Yeah, he definitely knows how to fish. But I assume he's using live scope, and I assume he's literally targeting individual fish on the live scope, because he's obviously got that zoned in on. Yeah,
and he knows the river, and he knows where they're going to be at a certain time and where the tide pushes.
Yeah. There was a few dramas there as well. We probably won't go into it because we don't know enough about it. But they had dramas with I think teams were penalised and stuff like that. But a few unhappy people. But I think still plenty of fish caught though. I don't even know what the final number of barra caught, but they caught a lot of barra in that comp this year. Yeah, which is pretty good. Shows that the daily is doing what it's meant to do.
Pretty good wet season this year, though, eh?
Yeah,
and that's what we talk about. Every podcast is about good wet season. It's good fishing, good crabbing.
Someone, I can't for the life of me remember their name, but just yesterday on Facebook, someone messaged us about being such a big wet season. How has the river been fishing so far? So I haven't really been down there the last 2 weeks. So what's the word on the street, Ash, at King Ash Bay? Are people catching barra?
Yeah, for sure. So the guys that have been there before that know what they're doing are catching good fish. Yeah. There's some people that might be their first trip, or they've only been there once or twice before, and they're not really 100% sure where they're going yet.
Yeah.
But they're still catching fish.
Yeah.
The guys that know what they're doing, they're catching good fish. So plenty of good fish.
Yeah,
You,
awesome.
you always know in the afternoon when you drive through, like if I'm driving back to my place past the powered sites and you see the filling tables out,
Yeah.
mate. You see a couple of guys there with their barrows out on the table. So,
Yeah.
so no, and you go down the pub and have a talk to people of a night time and that. And no, most people have been doing pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
It has been really, really difficult though with the wind. Like all this week and last week, it's been blowing up to 30 knots every day.
Yeah.
Because we had obviously. We had the cyclone there, 4 weeks ago, and it was pretty quiet. Like King Ash Bay only opened last Friday properly because the road only got opened on last Friday, so it's only been open for a week now. But it's already, a lot of people there already. There's plenty of people waiting to get in, and so yeah, the people that are there, mate, that have been there before, they're doing pretty good. But it has been blowing about 30 odd knots every day, so it's it's been difficult.
Yeah, another good sign for the fish is if you see the frames down at the dump.
Yeah.
Because, people aren't meant to dump their frames in the bins around camp. They say take them to the dump. So, yeah, if you go down the dump and dump some rubbish and you see these big barra frames there, you're like, oh, someone's had a good day. Yeah. So that's another one.
Yeah, same as like if I go to a boat ramp, sometimes if it's early in the season or something, you just have a quick look in the fish bin.
Yeah.
See what's in there.
See what's in there.
Oh, there's nothing in there, no worries. Tough day on the office again.
Good stuff.
I did a trip earlier on and it was tough going. I knew it was going to be tough and I was at Tommy Cut. I think I spent 3 days there or a couple of days there. I slept in my boat and it was tough. And I was trolling and there was fish were marking up, but they weren't biting. So I just gave in. And I thought, I'll just go and flick a few snags. So Darren Crawley's got the little blue hearts lure and little blue heart vibe. So I put that on. And I think about the second or the third flick in the drain. And I thought, I hit the snag. So I threw it back in again, 1.5 meters.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people said, including me mum, he got too excited, and I was thinking, because just before that I was thinking, I know the day before I got a 92 and a couple of other fish and I camped in the boat, so I knew I already had one vlog. So I thought I've slept in the boat and I got this day here and I've all day and it's tough going and I'm not going to get a vlog with it. So then all of a sudden I knew I had a vlog, 1.5 meters. So
Well, that's a good one too.
So
Yeah, far again, plenty of big barra.
yeah, so
My PB's still 90 or 91.
yeah,
Caught hundreds of barra, but I'm obviously not targeting the big ones.
yeah.
Yeah, you might have to show. In fact, we'll show you come down to King Ash Bay. We'll show you the river, show you everything. You teach me how to catch a big barra.
I'll tell you, I saw that vlog when you went out to the islands.
Yeah.
You caught the snappers.
Oh yeah, that was
off
recent.
tap,
Yeah.
off tap.
Oh man, we left them biting to go catch tuna. We're catching these massive golden snapper, and we
off
literally
tap.
left them biting to go chase tuna.
Yeah.
Bloody mullet.
Yeah. Oh, mad mullet. Yeah. He wanted a few tuna. Yeah. That question asked before about the big wet season and that.
Yeah.
That was from Anthony Anderson, by the way, and that was in the Rod Locker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's our new Facebook group, the Rod Locker. So if anyone wants to join that, it's just more of a private group. You have to sort of apply to join. It's not a public group where everyone can see what's being posted in there, so you can share your questions and fishing stories and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's the Anthony Anderson. That was the answer to his question there and there.
The idea people can ask questions and that not get bashed by everyone.
Oh, the keyboard warriors and
yeah,
the trolls saying, all the know-it-alls and that. Yeah.
And if people do that in there, let's get blocked.
We'll just boot them. Yeah. Absolutely.
Easy.
It's one of the most satisfying things. You booted anyone in your channel before? You've had to? If people in the comments? No?
No, it's pretty good, eh? And
He's lying.
I've got some pretty staunch subscribers.
Yeah,
and,
they fight for you.
Yeah, and then because a couple of times I got a little bit of a little comment that was like a little bit left of centre or a little bit pear-shaped, and I didn't have to say anything, So the boys,
good.
jumped on and they scrolled it pretty quickly, So thank you guys very much.
Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. It's all comments are
Yeah.
positive anyway.
Yeah, it all helps the algorithm, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've got my comments opened up to any comment, So it's all she's open go. So
Yeah.
I wasn't like that for the first half, but then I thought, it doesn't matter, I just turn her on.
Yeah.
You got to get the negative. You got to have some people got to get the negative to tell you,
Yeah. There wouldn't be many though. Like it would be 1 in 100, surely.
Oh, even less.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. Most people are pretty good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's one good thing about like the territory though. I suppose, like most people are pretty good up here. You don't have too many bloody
Yeah.
You know, clowns getting around.
Yeah.
Like most people are pretty helpful and pretty nice and pretty easygoing and laid back, and you know that's what's good. You know,
You kind of have to be
about the
because
territory.
everyone knows everyone. Like there'll be people, like especially the fishing community, fishing industry, fishing community. Between the three of us sitting here, we'd know everyone or know someone that knows someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a small community. We're only a little place here.
Because I'm finishing work, so when this comes out, I'll be just about finished or the next day. I'm actually going to do a vlog on it. So I turned the camera on 2 months ago when I thought about it. So I actually work once upon a time for me was I used to get a lot of social, like my workmates was, my social outing was work.
Yep.
But I found now that with the YouTube, the community and like my social now is not work. Like so it's allowed me to move on.
Yeah, cool.
And Pete Davis, Darren Crawley, all the guys, you know, I got subscribers that I got their phone numbers like every 2 months or something. We'll have a call or talk, or you bump into somebody like or talking to you guys, you know. So so now my social network isn't work. So it's allowed me to move away from that, you know. So
yeah, awesome. So I reckon we should, in a minute, move on to the song nominations for Golf Mud Crabbers playlist. But before that, so people can find you on your YouTube channel, Andy Total Carnage.
Yep.
What about if people want some of your merch? Like you got a website?
Yeah, www.andytotalcarnage.com. Or you can go on. I've got Andy Khan on Facebook as well, so you can just send us a message. So, or you can message us through the website if you want to, and you can do pickup or we do freight. So we do express freight, so you get things pretty quickly. So
yeah, you pay extra fee and you'll come around with no shirt on and
on the Harley.
on the Harley.
So, yeah, I'm quite happy. And then when I'm not around, which is quite a bit, Sue takes care. She takes the helm and she does all the orders and. So yeah, but to say if you want to come around and pick up, it's easy. So, but you just got to work around when I'm at home, you know. So that's the only thing there. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah, so I'm happy to come and have a chat and pick something up. Yeah, so
awesome.
Keep an eye out for when he comes down to King Ash Bay.
Yeah,
I look
have a
forward
few
to it.
videos.
I'm excited, and I'm probably going to be 5,000 subscribers in the next couple of weeks. So I am going to do a meet and greet down at the Territory True Cafe, but I'm going to let everyone know. I'll just go on Facebook and do a short thing, and I'll throw a short thing up on YouTube. So
that young Tom there, he's a good lad, eh?
Yeah, he's a good lad. Yeah,
he was school captain or vice captain at the school I worked at for a little while.
Yeah.
So I know him and I know his parents and that. Yeah,
it's really good, eh?
Yeah.
And they got I love going down there. So I love it. So it's
awesome.
brilliant.
All right, we've got song nominations. So yeah.
Well, just before that, you
sorry.
mentioned before we started, you were saying on the radio on the way over here, they were talking about doing a crocodile cull again.
Yeah. So I only heard the headline, so I haven't heard the whole thing. But it sounds like it's been sort of approved in their 3-year plan or whatever. That they're going to have certain culling of crocodiles. Yeah,
increase the number because obviously they have a crocodile management plan, and part of that management plan is to remove crocodiles from built-up areas and problem crocodiles from non-built-up areas and things like that. And I think they've increased the number by 900 crocodiles a year. I think is what I read very briefly this morning. Don't fact check me on that. But, but I think that's what it said. They were increasing by 900 crocodiles per year.
Yeah, okay. That to some people that might sound like a lot, but that's not a lot. Across the whole territory coastline, that's a little drop in the ocean, literally. Yeah.
I just know that because I go to a lot of different rivers, some crocodiles they just ignore you. But other crocodiles in other rivers, they got attitude.
Yeah.
You know, and you can sense it as soon as you get in there. I don't know why they got attitude, but you can sense it, and you got to be, a little bit careful around some areas.
On the MacArthur, we're pretty lucky. We if you want to slow down to get a video or a photo of a crocodile that's on the bank, if you slow down near it, it'll go into the water and just go hiding.
Yeah.
Where if you're in, say, Corroboree Billabong here in Darwin and you slow down for a potho, the crocodile will come up to your boat and say, "Where's my food?"
Yeah.
So we're pretty lucky down on the MacArthur.
Yeah, most is there's not often you get angry
problem
ones anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, every now and again you'll get one that'll come across, and you know them ones straight away that are a bit aggressive. They sit high up in the water,
Yeah. Sit
and
high
you
up.
know they'll come across to you quite quickly. You know, or if you move spots or if you're trolling, they'll follow you and
Yeah.
things like that. But you know, like Mikey said, you know, we don't get that too much at home.
Yep.
Like mostly they're pretty timid, and they hear the boats coming and they're just gone in the water. You know.
Yeah, they want nothing to do with you.
Yeah, and
Which is good.
I reckon they're not smart, but they evolve.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because I do know that there's a lot of creeks around. They're used to fishermen catching barramundi, so they will, when the barra's fighting, same as the bull shark, they'll come and grab the barramundi, you know. So,
Yeah.
So, and they come quick too when they come.
Oh yeah, I've seen them up on top of the water, and they're almost on the plane.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
3/4,
Yeah.
only their tails in the water. They're planing across.
There was a
the
video
top,
that on TikTok or something that I saw from Queensland that they literally it was planing next to the boat. There was kids in a tinny or
Oh,
people in
yeah,
a
that
tinny,
real big one.
And there's one literally keeping up with the boat next to it. It's like wow, had no idea they could go that fast in the water.
They're quick, yeah.
Yeah, you'll see when I release fish now, like you won't see me swim a fish, you know.
Yeah.
Like I have in the past, I guess I evolved, but now I'd rather spear them back in.
Yeah.
And then especially the other day down in the Bains, down off the Vic River, it took the first day I caught barramundis. The second day I was getting whacked with bull sharks.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, you know. So I was just about to net like an 80 centimetre barra, and the bull shark hit it and cut it in half, you know.
Oh.
So I know that when I was down there, I set the camera up for the release. I get down low, and I put the fish close to the water and drop it in.
Yeah.
I even think that's like probably after seeing the bull sharks come, and they sort of kind of hit it up on top of the water. Like I'd be more inclined to I'll spear it from higher from now on, you know. And I think that if you swim them in the water, I think if you throw them in, they'll get that rush of water past their gills anyway, you know.
Yeah, get a bit of a breath in, yeah.
And then also down the Darley, I was scooping a fish up. I can't remember the size of it. It was about an 80 as well. And when I scooped it, I scooped a shark up at the same time. So in the net, I had an 80 centimetre barramundi, and I had a shark that was about, I don't know, it wasn't quite a metre long. But so it must have been following. But that barramundi, because I call them, when they jump up out the water, I call them movie star barramundis because they're good for the camera, you know. And this one was jumping here and jumping there and jumped over there and actually went under the boat and jumped there. But I guess he had a shark chasing him, I'm not sure, right? So when I scooped, there was a shark and a barramundi. So I might do shorts up when I got time, you know. So yeah, so
Oh, good stuff.
and the one down the Vic on the Bains, it chopped the barramundi in half, but I still got two big thick fillets off it, you know. So.
The front end.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Well, we better do our songs, mate, because we need to catch a plane very shortly.
We do.
You got a song for us, Mikey?
Yeah, mate, I'm going old school. I'm going back to when I had my first car, a 1996 Toyota Corolla Seeker hatchback.
Oh, did you fit it?
I did, yeah, a little
Did you
red
take
one.
the driver's seat out and sit in the back?
No, it was awesome. Had a 15-inch subwoofer in the back.
Oh, wow.
And 6x9s, had the split system in the front. It was you could hear me coming from blocks away, especially when I was playing Darude Sandstorm.
Oh, wow.
So that's what's going on the list this week. That's my nomination, Darude Sandstorm.
You might have to find that one for me on Spotify, mate, so we can add it. What about you, Andy? You got a song for us, mate?
Well, you did ask me, you did warn me. Otherwise, I would have been completely rattled and I wouldn't have said anything. But years ago, I said when they wheeled me out, I wanted Jimmy Barnes, Working Class Man.
Yeah.
I've seen Jimmy Barnes a lot of times. So, but I probably got two. So it was Jimmy Barnes, Working Class Man, and a song that I like when I'm out in the water now is Kid Rock, Born Free.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that tune, and if you Google it up on YouTube and go and have a bit of a look, he sings it with President Donald.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Clinton, and they're all tapping away, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's pretty
okay.
cool, you know. Born Free, you know. So I reckon that's a pretty good song.
Yeah, awesome.
Especially when you're cruising down the river.
About this time 6 weeks ago, I was in Kid Rock's bar in Nashville, mate.
Oh, is that
yeah,
right? Eh?
Yeah, American Badass. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like Kid Rock. He's got some good stories.
It was
you know.
unreal. He just did a podcast with Theo Von. Yeah, just recently. Yeah, it was really good too.
He donates a lot too, you know.
Heaps, yeah.
Heaps, eh? Millions, eh? Yeah, donates it, you know. So.
Yep,
So
he's big tour now, which was it Rockin' the Country tour or something like that, which is with a heap of different artists. I think like Jason Aldean and a heap of other ones. It's but I think all the proceeds are going to all to charity. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And I watched the interview on him. I don't know if I watched an interview. This is getting off the track now, but I watched the interview, and the interviewer asked him about Pamela Anderson when he was married to her. I think it lasted 4 days or something, or 4 minutes or 4 hours. He said he put 2 hands on the hot plate, but I don't know what that means. He said he didn't just put 2 hands on the hot plate. He said he held them there for quite a while. So you learn in life, you know. So.
Right, well, I'll give you one then too. Since it was Anzac Day yesterday and we're in Darwin, I'm going to go with Lee Koenigen when the first bombs fell.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people wouldn't realise in Darwin, there's a lot of military history here, and Darwin was bombed by the Japanese, and actually more bombs were dropped on Darwin Harbour than there was in Pearl Harbor. So, I think that's an appropriate song for this week. So, Lee Koenigen when the first bombs fell, top song too.
It is. So on the same album is We'll Take Beersheba, which is already in the playlist. Yeah, which is one of my favourites. Yeah, awesome. All right, well, there's some good songs added this week, and I guess we'll have to wrap this up because we need to get moving. So Andy, thanks for coming on, mate.
Thanks very much, Mike.
Look forward to
Cheers, Andy. Pleasure meeting you, mate.
Yeah, awesome.
Excellent.
Get you down at King Ash Bay, and we'll show you a few things down there. Show you how we do it down in the Gulf.
Awesome, mate. I can't wait.
We're
No,
excited.
me neither, mate. Me neither.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right,
Let's do it.
let's do it.
That's it.
Easy.
Oh, look at that.
Guys in the Gulf.